Okay, so let's just talk about what everybody is talking about. Mariah May is officially in NXT. Goddamn, I did not expect this. At least not this early. Like, all the reports said she was still weeks away from coming to NXT. So I wasn't expecting to turn on NXT tonight and see her on my show. But honestly, I was really happy for that. And we can like already say rest in peace to Jacy Jayne's reign. We know it's gonna end now. It's probably gonna happen at Evolution. That seems like a pretty big moment for Mariah May to like really capitalize on the momentum and spotlight she has now. But overall, yeah man, I was not expecting this. Like, yeah, not tonight at least. I was just expecting them to at least give Jacy Jayne a short run. Because in my mind, honestly, from what I was gathering, is that Mariah May was gonna come like next month or probably after Evolution, probably after Money in the Bank around that time. Like, not now, but I'm happy for this. I think she's gonna definitely benefit the NXT Women's Division, especially with losses like Stephanie Vecker, Julia, Roxanne Perez, and possibly Jordynne Grace now too. There's reports that she's leaving. It makes sense that we're putting Mariah May on NXT first to make sure this division doesn't drown. But it seems like Jordynne Grace is staying. So let's just talk about the segment where she debuted, just to get that out of the way too. Jacy Jayne and Fatal Influence come to the ring, and Jacy Jayne basically tells them that they're 4 years too late to jump on the bandwagon now. She's the champ when no one else believed in her, which causes Lainey Reed, weird to see her, she's pretty much new here. Guess this is her official debut. She's had a few NXT level up appearances, but yeah, was kind of weird that she just popped out. But she says she's motivated now because she believes Jacy Jayne is the most beatable NXT Women's Champ ever, and that's giving her inspiration to come and fight for the championship. I mean, fair. I mean, Mariah May debuting is exactly showing that. Then we have the rest of the NXT Women's Division pretty much just coming out. You have Lash Legend, Jordynne Grace, Jaida Parker, Lola Vice, all of them just coming out challenging Jacy Jayne, and it breaks into a big ass brawl before Mariah May appears. And she stands there on the balcony looking over all of them. She says that NXT just became glamorous and that she's your new NXT Women's Champion. Yeah, I mean, I can see this. I can't wait for this, man. I think it's going to be not just a great match, but I'm excited to see how she fits into not just NXT, but WWE in general. I truly believe she has an amazing future. She's genuinely one of my favorites. She and Willow Nightingale in AEW are my favorites right now, with Julia Hart maybe up there too. So I truly believe she's gonna do great. I hear a few people say she's not gonna do well because they already have Tiffany Stratton. I don't really see it. I mean, just because they're blonde doesn't mean they're similar whatsoever. I mean, they look very different and they're both gorgeous, so who cares? They're both gonna do great. But okay, let's talk about this show tonight. Let's talk about NXT and what happened for the rest of the show. We start off with Javon Evans and Laredo Kid both in the ring. They're gonna get ready to talk about their Fatal 4-Way match coming this weekend when Ethan Page interrupts them. He's pretty pissed because he has to not only defend his championship in a Fatal 4-Way this weekend, but also defend it against Shawn Legacy next week. And he's pissed because he didn't agree to this. Ricky Saints agreed to this, and he's only inheriting this because he won the championship. So he's pretty pissed about this, which is when Shawn Legacy comes out, and you know, they're all triple team on him, basically diss him, Shawn Legacy, Javon Evans, and Laredo Kid. So then the Vanity Project from Evolve, sorry, forgot their name, goddamn. They come out and they say that Jackson Drake is going to defeat Shawn Legacy tomorrow on Evolve, and then they say they got Ethan Page's back before they all start brawling with the baby faces. But you know, even though they have the numbers advantage, they still end up losing, which is kind of ridiculous. And Ava says that tonight we're gonna have a 4-on-4 match. The baby faces need to find another partner. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you here. This is a big complaint I have for tonight's show especially, and something I complained about AEW a lot in the past. For someone that only watches NXT or only watches WWE, tonight must have been the most confusing show for you of all time, because we had people from TNA. Makes sense, you have that partnership. You also had people from Evolve. You know, you also had people from AAA and from your LFG show. So there was a lot. And even when you take into consider Mariah May and Lainey Reed, who aren't necessarily from your other projects, but they're new to your show. So if you came out and watched the night show, there's going to be so many people you don't know, things you just don't get, which is something I don't think is a good decision. I think it's definitely going to hurt ratings if we keep going this direction. Not that I don't like seeing Santana and Trick Williams fight for the TNA World Championship on my favorite show. No, I love that. But for a casual audience, it's not going to go over well, right? And I know I don't usually care what the casual audience is supposed to think because I'm enjoying the show. But for my show to be successful, you need casual audiences to watch. So, right, maybe in the future, make this flow better. Like, lean into it a lot better, because I don't really care about Chad Gable facing Vikingo for the AAA championship. And it's fine if you promote it on the show, but at least make it an interesting story that I care about and make these people interesting on my show. Because I have no reason to care about the Stephanie Vacker and Lola Vice teaming up against those random girls, because I don't know them and I don't want to see the show build up to that when I don't really care about it. You get what I'm saying? Now I get it's Worlds Collide, it's probably just a one-time event, but I'm still gonna complain because I don't think we're doing it the right way. Anyways, Javon Evans is saying that he'll find him a partner because Shawn Legacy and Laredo Kid, they're new here, they don't know who is here, they don't have any partners, which is when Dragon Lee comes up and he says yeah sure, he'll be their partner, which is weird. I mean, Dragon Lee just randomly appearing in NXT, usually I like it when you have main roster guys coming down, but like this was just completely random. I think you could have given it to like a bunch of different people. Our first match of the night is a 3-on-3 match between Dark State and Chase University. Dark State obviously wins because Chase University just can't get along. The students aren't listening to their teacher and that makes them end up losing the match. So I like this. Dark State gets another W under their belt. They're a really dominant team, but I do want to see them be more chaotic. I think when they first debuted, they went after everyone. They broke down everything at NXT. But now they're kind of just stuck in this limbo space. So I would like to see them just be more dominant, just disrupting everything, getting involved in every title scene. And I know it's difficult building towards all these new stuff, but you know, you can't put them in the back burner just because of other stuff, right? They had such a strong build up and now it doesn't feel like we're capitalizing on that little bit of momentum they got. The next match is Miles Bourne vs Charlie Dempsey, a rounds match. If Miles Bourne wins, he gets to break free from the NQCC, and I kind of like the whole dynamic of the show. The two other guys, Ren Sinclair and Tavion Knight, they didn't really know in whose corner to stand. Charlie Dempsey was an absolute dick even to his teammate, cheating, not shaking his hand after the match, but you probably got that now that I said that. Miles Bourne is officially free from the NQCC, and I would really like to see him go into the North American title scene. Now, I wonder what's going to happen to the NQCC, because I really do think Tavion Knight also has the potential to stand out just as much as Miles Bourne. And Charlie Dempsey too, just to a lesser extent. I don't know what his ceiling exactly is. But yeah, I'm really hoping Miles Bourne enters the North American title scene. I don't think he's ready for the NXT championship yet. Yeah, I can see him being a great challenger for whoever comes out holding that belt. If Ethan Page retains, I can see a great feud there. If Ricky Sainz gets it back eventually, I can see that being a feud too. Hell, Javon Evans or Shawn Legacy, two great picks. I could see either one being a great feud for Miles Bourne. We head backstage where Tyra Maysteel, the winner of LFG, is just talking about how she's excited to be here and talking with the rest of the locker room. Where Ariana Grace comes up, she's finally back, man. I've missed her on NXT. So she's here now and she basically gives her some quote-unquote advice and says do not talk about yourself that much because people don't like it, which is pretty ironic. I mean, it's Ariana fucking Grace. So this sets up a match between the two for later tonight, and I really enjoyed this match, okay, because everybody knows I'm a big fan of Ariana Grace. I think she has a insane ceiling in the company. I don't think she was the right person to put into the ring with Tyra Maysteel on her very first match. Now, the match was fine and Tyra Maysteel won, which was the good decision. Obviously, you have to build her up. But, I mean, Ariana Grace's biggest strengths aren't in the ring. So if you really wanted to do that, use someone like Kendall Gray or Lola Vice, maybe even Thea Hill. Obviously, Ariana Grace being a great character worker makes sense. You pretty easily set the match up. But I think if you wanted to really show off her skills, you could have used someone differently. But obviously, you wanted to have Tyra Maysteel squash someone. So Ariana Grace loses nothing from a squash match because it's pretty much what she is, a great character worker that loses quickly. So yeah, I just wish, you know, we actually got to see a lot more of her technical side, Tyra Maysteel's actual in-ring skills. But still, like I said, it was a really good match that I really enjoyed. I like seeing Ariana Grace. I do think she has a bright future here. And for Tyra Maysteel, I'm still not sold on her. I was a big fan of Xena Sterling on LFG, so I'm not fully convinced that Tyra Maysteel is there yet. I still want to see more from her. I don't buy her babyface role just yet. So we catch up with the Culling. We're supposed to have a match next week, but Izzy Dame comes up and she just hits Brooks Jensen with a chair and basically says he's never been fully into this, and they kick him out, which is like, okay, this shit came out of nowhere. Like, okay, I know people don't like the Culling. I really enjoy the Culling. I think they're a perfect lower mid-card faction. But man, why do we kick Brooke Jensen out? Like, I get it, he's the least interesting member here, but he still brought something to the table. I don't see why. Is he getting released or something? This just felt out of nowhere. But okay, that's fine. Like I said, he was the least interesting member of this faction, so I can look past that. It was just very weird. But we do catch up with some more storytelling later, as So Ruka and Zarya approach Tatum Paxley, but Izzy Dame's already there, and Izzy Dame says, "You can't trust these girls, Tatum. I'm here to help you purge those people who aren't your real friends." So it seems like Izzy Dame is kind of taking up a leadership role in the culling, which I really enjoy. Like, she's never really gotten a main role. She was always the sidekicks to everyone, even to Kiana James back in the day, and when she joined the culling, she was kind of a sidekick still. So now seeing her actually start building up stuff, it's really cool to see, and I'm really enjoying it. And you know, I was against Tatum Paxley joining the culling, but I can kind of see it working. I can kind of see her and Izzy Dame working, and eventually that could turn into a feud, because like Tatum Paxley and friends just doesn't end well. But yeah, a part of me still hopes Tatum Paxley joins So Ruka and Zarya, because I really want to see that. I think that could be an insanely cool trio. So yeah, I want to see that happen, but you know, I'm not against Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley teaming up at all. A few more backstage segments is that Tony D'Angelo and Luca Crucifino meet backstage, and Luca Crucifino tells Tony D'Angelo that he wants to prove to Tony that he can still trust him, so he got him a tag team match against the High Rise next week. Tony asks how Luca can just go above him, do something like that, and go outside the family, but Luca reminds him that there isn't much of a family anymore. So I don't know what I feel about this. Like, I like Luca Crucifino, but man, this family storyline, it's been botched into oblivion. Like, I'm not interested in it anymore. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought at the start there was potential, especially from the moment Tony D'Angelo got turned on. I thought there was so much potential for this story, but they just botched it, man. Everything has just felt underwhelming, and I'm not excited for it. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not excited for it. And then we have Obafemi in Ava's office, and then he and Jasper Troy basically signed a contract for their title match next week. Really intrigued by this. I won't lie, I don't think we've built Jasper Troy up enough. Like, he's very cool. He has a lot of aura. I like his look. But I don't think we've built up to this feud properly too. And it's a big problem with NXT, like, going through the stories very quickly. I'm excited for his match. I think it's going to be awesome. But yeah, I do wish we built up Jasper Troy and Obafemi a little bit more, because I still don't feel like I know Jasper Troy. So then the final two matches of the night are Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, Dragon Lee, and Sean Legacy defeating Ethan Page and the Vanity Project. A pretty solid match, really enjoyed it. It was just a bunch of guys doing their stuff. Overall, a really solid match, but there's not really a lot to say here. I mean, it was a traditional 4-on-4 match. Babyfaces defeat the heels. You know, you have a bunch of guys involved in a similar story. That's really all it was. So let's get into the main event, which was for the TNA World Championship. Santana versus Trick Williams, and oh boy, a lot happened here. Okay, so Elijah was in the crowd for this match. You know, Elijah, guitar guy, formerly known as Elias. You guys know what I'm talking about. So Trick Williams during the match grabs his guitar and smashes it over the stairs. The steps? Yeah, over the steps. And then Elijah jumps over, but the referees hold him back, which allows AJ Francis and Casey Navarro to jump Santana, because they have a feud going on in TNA. And this allows Trick Williams to get the victory. And it seems like Trick Williams is teamed up with First Class, which is, okay, hear me out, I really love it. I think it's a really cool pairing. Like, people still surprisingly don't like AJ Francis, but he's been doing an insanely good job in TNA, and Casey Navarro is one of those up-and-coming young stars who has a bright future. So pairing them with Trick Williams, I can really see that being a good thing. And not just that, like, First Class is it makes sense for their characters. So overall for tonight's show, I really like tonight's show. I do feel like there was too much going on when you had stuff from Evolve, from LFG, from AAA, from TNA, from the main roster, and some new people appearing like Lainey Reed and Mariah May. And while for someone like me, it was insanely cool, I just think like it gets messy at times for someone who's just trying to tune in, who's very casual. Like someone like my girlfriend, she just casually watches it every now and again with me. She's not gonna have a clue what's happening with any of this. But still, I would say it's a pretty solid show. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It was really entertaining. And I really enjoy that the women's division is still going strong. Mariah May and Lainey Reed, I feel like, are going to be big pieces of this women's division. Mariah May is probably not going to be here for long, but I still feel like she's going to have a big impact while she's here. Same with Jordynne Grace, she's also probably going to leave. And a few others too, like Lash Legend and Lola Vice probably aren't going to be here for long. Neither is Jacy Jayne. But like I said, you have girls like Lainey Reed who are made her official debut here tonight, so I think she's going to play a big part of the future, especially since they put a very big spotlight on her tonight. So I feel like the women's division is going to be fine, and it's constantly reloading. Just shows you how women's wrestling is really on fire right now on every cylinder, and I love that because women's wrestling is my favorite part of wrestling in general. So if you liked today's video, please leave a like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. We're over 500 subscribers. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It makes me so happy. Like, genuinely, thank you for everyone watching it. I'm still trying to figure out what type of video I want to do to thank everyone for 500. I will get to that soon eventually, but just know that, yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it to everybody who subscribes and watches the channel. So if you want to stick around, let's build this community further. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 1000 now. We're still far away, but the journey has started now. So leave a like, subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye, everyone.